So hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Part-Time Pundits. This week, as you can see by the kits that we're wearing, is an Ahly and Egypt special on the eve of the 2020 Club World Cup. We talked to Mohammed Hesham Moharram, sports journalist, about everything from the history of Egyptian football, his love and passion for Ahly Football Club, his thoughts on the Club World Cup, and there's even a little bit about Cameroon sleeveless jerseys from the 2002 World Cup. So stay tuned. This episode is an absolute fantastic one.
As a child, you didn't choose your house. You didn't choose even the clothes. You didn't choose even your family, your school. But Al Ahly was the first thing ever I chose. I chose to support Al Ahly. That was my first choice in my whole life, because most of my family members are Zamalek fans. Me and my sister and my grandfather, who I never saw, are supporters for Al Ahly. So this is the first choice in my life, was Al Ahly.
Wow,
amazing!
How did that go down with the family? I mean, in a family of Zamalek fans?
Yeah. Maybe that's why I chose Al Ahly. Maybe I wanted to be the rebel in the family, but it's my father was a Zamalek fan, but he wasn't really in football. My mom was supporter for Zamalek, but after all, she's a mom. Before the exams, if there is a game for Al Ahly and it's Al Ahly and Zamalek, she pray for Al Ahly to win, because she knows if Al Ahly lost, I cannot study, I cannot do anything. She's a mom after all. She's a typical Arab mom.
I love that.
it reminds me a bit of sort of my family. I mean, I'm half Scottish as well, and my entire Scottish family are Celtic fans.
Okay.
I ended up being the only Rangers fan in the family.
Okay, that's tough,
again.
Man.
They were just a good team at the time, football is football. So if your family support a team, but you're a kid and you grow up and you see a team playing amazing football, you want to support them. You feel affinity, right? And it's no matter what the background, it's football at the end of the day. It brings you to support the team. Yeah. So that is what happened. So it's a really cool anecdote that you kind of went against the family a bit there.
Yeah.
Is it like 50-50? So like, I mean, every Egyptian I speak to, we speak the language of football, and I always ask them, the first question, like, are you Ahly or are you Zamalek? And overwhelmingly for me, it's Ahly. That's my experience. Like overwhelmingly, the ones I speak to, they're usually Ahly.
No, yeah, that's true. Al Ahly, I think more than 60 million people supports Ahly in Egypt, because most of the people of Egypt are young people, and like you said, when you see a team plays beautiful football and a team who win, you start supporting the team. So maybe that's why most of the people you met are Ahly supporters, but there are a lot of Zamalek fans in Egypt as well.
Cool. No, I mean, I remember the 2000s, sort of around 2004, 2005, maybe even 2006. Those years were fantastic. I remember for Egyptian football, but especially Al Ahly. I mean, the Champions League finals they got to, the national team was winning the Nations Cup. They won a crazy amount of cups in a row. It was a great time.
2006, especially 2006. Was amazing. Al Ahly won the Champions League. We went to the World Cup. We won the African nation at the national team. Yep. Yeah, that was a year.
And I think Ahly finished third in the Club World Cup, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think
that
year. I remember those days for Egyptian football. It was fantastic, and you thought, okay, this team's got to qualify for a World Cup. But Egypt, of course. That was the one thing they never did in that period was make it.
Tell me about it.
There was always something. And then, to kind of pivot away a little bit, I expected a lot from them at the last World Cup, 2018. to finally see Egypt there. It was kind of like this culmination of Egyptian football after, the good period in the 2000s. Then, we know what happened over in Egypt, in 2010, 11, 12.
Yeah.
That kind of
we could do better at that World Cup.
Was it what, 24 years or something like along those lines?
1990.
Yes.
Yeah.
1990.
Yeah.
Was the last World Cup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So people start saying in Egypt that "Khalas, we will never qualify to the World Cup unless Italy is the host," because we went only twice before Russia. Both were in Italy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I mean, you had. I think a lot of it is down to sort of the players that you have, and I think I remember the team in the 2000s. With players like Mido, Amarazaki, they were playing at sort of the highest level at the time. Over in the Premier League or in Europe. And I think that players like Abu Trika, who was absolutely incredible. I mean, he's an absolute legend, in Africa and world football, I would say. They've kind of retired, and it's players now coming through like Salah, I think, that are getting Egypt back there. Older ones as well. You had Al Hadari in goal, who is one of my favorites. Kind of, how old was he? 42, 43 at the World Cup, and still saved the penalty.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Look, he's the best, but he's not my favorite.
Oh, really? Who would one of your favorite Egyptian keepers be?
Not because he's a bad goalkeeper. Of course not. He's the best, but he left Al Ahly in very bad terms. We were sleeping. We woke up. We found out Al Hadari is not in our team anymore, and he didn't even went to the Premier League. He went to Switzerland to play with Basel. I think FC Sion, and that was in the middle of the Champions League, the African Champions League, and that was like
unforgivable.
Stab in the back. No, nobody did. Nobody. I didn't see any Ahlawi forgive us on Hadari. He's the best in our history.
Yeah,
but we just don't forgive him.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, it contrasts players sort of other players that have stayed loyal to Al Ahly for the longest time.
Yeah, and he tried a lot to come back to Al Ahly, and he went to all the talk shows, and he cried a lot, like, I want to come back, but what's done is done, bro.
Yeah, it says something about the fan culture. I mean, Ultras Ahlawi and the fans that are behind Ahly wield incredible power. When it comes to decisions and it comes to the country and everything like that. So, Hadari could have wanted to come back and the club could have wanted to bring him back. But if the fans aren't interested.
Look, the fans were definitely one of the reasons, but this is the mentality of Al Ahly. If you just left us, you cannot come back. Look at Hosam Hassan and Ibrahim Hassan. Hosam Hassan is absolute legend.
Yeah.
But he didn't come back. Like, what's done is done. This is the rule in Ahly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, fair enough. Well, it seems like sort of success is back at the club. They won. I think it was the ninth trophy. That we see here on the shirts. The ninth star, which was an incredible final, all Egyptian, which was unbelievable.
Look, that was the best scenario to win the Champions League. Like, first of all, it's a derby, and derby is a derby.
Yeah.
Second of all, you won the game like in the last 5 minutes. In a game, you wasn't the best team in this game. So this is my favorite scenario to win the Champions League.
Backs against the wall, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's like you took the game. You boom, end of the game.
Yeah.
To be honest, when Hissam al-Shahat did that shoot and it went to the crossbar, I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. But then Zamalek had the same ball.
Yeah.
Then I started to believe, like, okay, now we can do it. Because you know how many games, how many trophies, how many championships we won in the last 5 to 3 minutes. I lost count.
Yeah.
Most of our trophies we won in the last 5 minutes. We are the 90+ team.
I mean, a lot of that you could put down to the fans, right? You know, like the 12th man. Like the Ahly fans are absolutely fantastic, and I guess they must make the team sort of want to, you know, really fight to the end. You know, when it
That's
comes
it.
to it, is there.
That's it. You can lose. Like, look, my last memory about the Club World Cup was losing 5-0 at the last game, 2013. But if you look at the screen and you see how the few fans who went from Egypt to support the team, and they were cheering and jumping like they are winning, because we know those players are giving it all to the team.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose. By the end of the day, you're gonna lose. That's the natural order of things. It's ups and downs, and you've been there during the downs, and you will be there during the future downs. But you're gonna enjoy every little minute of the ups, and now I'm enjoying it after 7 years finally.
I mean, speaking of that, tomorrow, I mean, you know, Al Ahly kick off the Club World Cup again. Play Al Duhail from Qatar. You know, it's you know, just an hour away now that they've opened up flights again. Were you tempted to go across? Was there any?
I wish, but I can't because Qatar gave like 1 week quarantine or something. So I would waste my time and I will not watch my beloved team. So I really wish. And you know, there were a couple of times Ahly was that close to win the Champions League, and then the World Cup was here in UAE, and I was like, God, please, but it didn't happen. But we kept trying. We did it. We made it to the World Cup again.
I think the winner of tomorrow's game has a tie with the mighty Bayern Munich.
Yes, but let me tell you something. For us as Ahly fans, we don't see that stuff. We have our slogan, our logo, like the greatest team of all, the greatest team of the universe. That's how we see Ahly. For us, it is the best team in the world. It is the best team in the universe. Maybe. And all we can see that we're winning tomorrow against Duhail. That's maybe we're not. Maybe we're gonna lose. But well, we believe. That's what we do. We believe in our team, and even if we lost, we were building a new team, and we just won the Champions League with a new team, and even if we lost, we live to fight another day.
No, for sure. And I think, you know, for us, I think, you know, the chances are there against Duhail. I think it's going to be a really sort of tight game. I'd love to see Al Ahly win that because I'm really wanting to see an Ahly Bayern semi-final. You know, I think.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Dubai are going to be packed out for that one.
Yeah, of course. I would just say that I don't think Al Ahly ever played away. If Ahly playing in any country in the world, you know, we are Egyptians, we're everywhere in the world, so most of the Egyptians are Ahlawis. So if Al Ahly plays in Qatar, they can feel they are playing home because a lot of Egyptian fans and Ahly fans there. Let me tell you a story about the World Cup. The first World Cup Al Ahly went, I was 14 years old. This it. Al Ahly didn't do well in that World Cup, and we lost the first game against Nasr, I guess, Saudi. But the 2006, the World Cup for us. You know, it was in Japan, and there is time difference between Egypt and Japan. So when it's 7 p.m. in Japan, it's 9 a.m. in Egypt. So I was 15 years old, so we used to skip the school. I don't know if the skipping the school is the right term, because skipping the school means that you don't go to school. But we went to the school because our moms never allowed that we don't go to the school to watch the game. But after we went to the school, we started like that, the whole generation. We started to climb the walls of the school to go out of the school to watch the game because it was 9 a.m. and we need to watch Al Ahly. So could you imagine the old capital, Cairo, 9 a.m. and the coffee shops are full. Like nobody goes to the work, nobody goes to the university, nobody goes to the schools. Like it's full. It wasn't. How come I can see all those people in the coffee shop at that early? It was crazy, and Ahly did very well in this version that we won the third place, and I can't remember any tournament was the people had that vibe in Egypt. That was a very good memory. That's why we always say World Cup Japan. That's in our head. World Cup means Japan to us. I remember even before that season started, you can see the Japanese flag in between the fans in the stadium, because we believed we're gonna go to Japan. That's our mentality. Even when we're losing, in our head that we're gonna win in the last minute. That's our mentality. That's Al Ahly.
So what you're trying to say
for tomorrow is that you're going to win the whole thing. Like
exactly. I was going to say. So what you're trying to say is that you're going to take away the Club World Cup from Qatar this year.
Yeah, that's all I can see. Maybe that's not happening. Maybe that's fantasy. But who told people that football fans are realistic or think with their brains? No. That's not the case.
I love that.
That's absolutely amazing. No, I really hope to see them do well. I mean, you look in Qatar. I mean, I remember when they played here, the Super Cup final. I think it was over in Abu Dhabi, and the stadium was full. I mean, absolutely full. And I think Qatar has started allowing fans back now. There's a certain number that are going to be at the stadium, and I saw the reception at the airport for the fans for the team when Al Ahly arrived. I can only imagine in the stadium what it's going to be like, tomorrow, and especially if they get through to play Bayern. That's going to be so cool. Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, look, they'll also be wearing these fantastic jerseys that we've all got on right now.
Yeah,
I think we've done really, really great with these. I think tomorrow
with the World Cup logo here. They just printed it today.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Amazing. No, I think tomorrow, because they play De Gea and De Gea are going to be at home, they won't be in red. I think they'll either be in most likely the grey that you've got on, Ted.
Yeah, I think the grey one.
Tomorrow
is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. I really like this kind of pattern on the shoulders. What do you
I
think?
like it.
Yeah.
Look, as fans, always, if it's the best kit in the world, for the first look, you look at it and say, no, I don't like this. in my first look, I said, why you did this this T-shirt with this strips and everything. Look at me, I'm wearing it now. Once you start seeing the team playing with it, once you used to it, it became your kit. I love the new kit. Maybe I didn't like the number 9 in here. I prefer to be the 9 stars in here, like always. But I know that was tight. The time was tight, and they had to do this to celebrate the 9th championship. But I really like the 3 of them. I really like them.
If you had to pick one, would you have a favorite? Would it
always
be
red? Always red.
Always red. Yeah.
Red.
Classic.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, I think they've done a great job. With these, the quality for me is great, and the fact that you can pick them up here in Dubai, reasonably priced. I think they sold out pretty quick. According to Umbro, they flew off the shelves, and now they partnered up with Namshi, so they're online, so everyone can sort of
exactly.
order.
Yeah.
I think
And I just came back from Egypt, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. The people from Egypt were calling me, get us the T-shirt, the kit from Dubai, because they back in Egypt they don't have the same material, the players' material. No, they have the fans' material. The players' material is only in Dubai. So people in Egypt wants the Dubai material.
I'm wondering if Namshi and all that are shipping over to Egypt. That would be a great thing.
Yeah, we would suggest that.
That would be fantastic. We'll give Umbro a ring and suggest to them. That'd be a good deal. But no, I hope it'll be tough, because I mean, we might not even see Ahly in the Club World Cup in red. I mean, if they win against Ahly tomorrow, they'll play Bayern, who also play in red. Who will be designated from team.
It depends if they're the home team. If they're the home team, yeah. Then if not,
Yeah.
It might be a very different look we see in the next few games, but.
I wish I can see Ahly in red. But I don't know. When it comes to football, to be more specific, when it comes to Ahly, I'm kind of superstitious.
Okay.
I'll tell you the story. Like I watched the game, the semi-final with my friend Hesham and Gabi in Hisham's, at Hisham's. So I was wearing the Italy kit, and Hisham was wearing something, and we won the semi-final. So when it's the time for the final, we went at Hisham's house at the same time, wearing the same clothes, sitting in the same chairs, ordered the same food, because we just cannot do. We are superstitious, and that's what we do. And I told you, football fans are crazy. I'm crazy.
What did you order? I want to know what food you had. Are you going to order the same thing tomorrow?
Yeah, we ordered from. Can I say?
Yeah.
Okay, we ordered French vanilla. You can guess from where, and donuts from that Canadian place. I really cannot remember the name.
Yeah.
So and we ordered exactly after the whistle of the first half, because that's what we did in the first time. And our friend Gabi is not very into football, and he was like, Can I take off my shoes? I was like, no. Did you take off your shoes in the last game? I was like, no. I was like, so you cannot take off your shoes now. But we won. It worked.
Yeah. That's it. Ahly fans. The secret to this is coffee and donuts. French vanilla coffee. All over the world, Ahly fans are now going to be ordering that against Bayern Munich. Please, that will make.
I wish.
Amazing. No, I mean, we really wish them all the best. I really do hope that they qualify and continue to do well. It seems like they're on a good streak at the moment. Just to sort of to move on from that, I mean, to ask a question in general about Egyptian football. Where do you it's like we mentioned earlier, it had its sort of good times in the mid 2000s. We all know what happened sort of at the turn of the decade in Egypt, as well as with the things in Egypt with the football league and the fans and all of that. And it seems now that with Egypt qualifying for the World Cup, Ahly winning the Champions League, Egyptians performing quite well over in Europe. There was a big high-profile transfer yesterday of Mustafa Mohammed to Galatasaray. I know he's from Zamalek, but still Egyptian player.
He went out, khalas.
To Europe, he's gone now. They'll never bring him back.
Now he's that kind of player that you support without. Like Salah when he went to Basel, like in Nini when he went to Basel, like every Egyptian, like Trezeguet, like every Egyptian when goes out of the league, people start to support him. He's wearing white or red. He's Egyptian outside of Egypt, and he deserved to be supported.
You know, I mean, being with that, and you know, things working well with Egypt on the international stage, like, where do you see the future of Egyptian football? Sort of, what are your thoughts on moving forward? You know, is there hope to qualify for the 2022 World Cup? If so, how do you see them performing there? Many Egyptians could move to Europe. Are there any particular ones that you see doing that?
To be honest, we need more qualified people in charge, because I don't think we're in the right track. We need more qualified cadres. We need more people who really loves football, people who really understands football. Not, with all due respect, not the old school, because you can now in the league, the Egyptian league, you can see institutions or companies with 2-3 teams in the league. It's not a professional league. We still need to improve. We still need to work because, as you said, you saw the Egyptian national team 2006, 2008, 2010. You won the African nations. Then it disappeared from the map. It added another thing, but at the national team, you're not doing well. The World Cup, I think we could do better than what we did. But after all, I'm almost 30, and that was the first time in my life to see my national team in the World Cup. And that was a moment of pride. And when I hear the national team in the World Cup, that gives me the goosebumps. It's a step, but we need to improve. We need to work more. We need to, like I said, more qualified people in charge, and more players to go out. And I think Mo Salah opened that door, and nobody can close it anymore for us.
No, and I mean, especially because he's doing it consistently now. He's been doing it consistently for the last 3-4 seasons. I mean, people talk about the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, and the fact that they've been doing it for the last 10 to 15 years, every year consistently, right? Do you think Mo Salah is kind of on a similar trajectory? I mean, granted, he's a little bit older in age, so he didn't get started as young as what those guys did, kind of at that top level. But do you think that he's got it in him to kind of keep it going for the next few years?
Salah, yeah, I guess so, because his people said when he joined Liverpool, people said he's one season wonder. So he started proving that he's every season wonder. He's doing fantastic. He's doing very well in the field, and he's an inspiration for a lot of Egyptians. The young players now wants to go out and go to play in Europe because of Mohammed Salah, because they saw how that life could be if they are professional enough. Because before Salah, we didn't have that professional mentality. People might say Mido, but Mido wasn't maybe he wasn't lucky enough. Wasn't lucky like Salah. He didn't have social media or all that Egyptian people supports him.
Sorry to bother, but sorry to interrupt, but I follow Mido on Twitter, and I mean, he's got a pretty foul mouth. He's not very professional on Twitter, so I think there's a different mindset. Now it's big money, it's big business. I think people understand that they are the brand. Plus Mo Salah is kind of placid as a person, whereas I think Mido was a bigger kind of personality, a bit more of a perceived troublemaker. Even on the field,
yeah,
right? Comparison.
Exactly.
It was a difference in character.
And we had the shot to have more Egyptian people in Europe with Mido. I don't know if you remember Hesham Moharram. He played in Tottenham, and he threw the Tottenham T-shirt with Martin Yol. Hesham Moharram was doing fantastic, but that killed his career outside Egypt. Like you said, Mido was a troublemaker, and he had the Zlatan attitude, and maybe that works for Zlatan, but it will not work for anybody. I think Salah is more professional than Mido. Salah knows what he wants, and he's just going on through his way.
I mean, and he's still delivering at the end of the day. Like I was skeptical of him coming into this season. I thought, he's had 3 good seasons. You know, like maybe this is the year that he kind of starts to dip in form. But I mean, watching him just on the weekend against West Ham, that second goal, the ball's kind of lobbed across from Shaqiri. It's just literally just stuck to his foot, and then just effortless. Puts
that was a dream. That was a dream.
Of course.
Like, I think we made movies about players who aren't exist. That we made a movie. Its name is Al-Alami. That's one player went to Valencia and he became like well known, and he qualified to the World Cup with the national Egyptian team. That was a dream. That was a fantasy. That was a movie. Now we can see that. Now we can see a real Egyptian player win the Champions League, win the Premier League, and qualify to the World Cup. That was a dream, and now we can see it. That's an inspiration, of course.
I think, a lot of people are, a lot of things that I read online sort of say that with the way that Salah is performing these days, and the sort of attention that he's getting, I mean, he's up there with Messi and Ronaldo at the moment, as one of the best players in the world. And a lot of people are saying, is this making people take Egypt seriously as a market for players, and should we be looking at Egypt for more players as a talent base? And my answer to that is, I think people have been doing it for a while. I mean, if you look at sort of, the players that have come into the Premier League, you said Hesham Moharram was there, Mido was there.
Ahmed Zaki.
He went to
Zaki, Mohammed Shawty,
Ahmed Al-Mahmoudi.
Giddu.
Trezeguet.
Now Trezeguet, of course.
El Neni. A lot of these players have come from Egypt, often directly from Egypt, via a second country like Switzerland. But Steve Bruce loves Egyptian players. He single-handedly brought sort of half of those players we just mentioned into England at one point in time. So, I think there's always been this sort of lens on Egypt, and I think there always is a recognition that there is talent. It's just Salah's been the one that's exploded.
Yeah, I don't think it's because of the people or the clubs are not scouting from Egypt. I think it was because of the Egyptian player mentality before Salah. I think Salah's mentality changed most of the Egyptian players' mentality, because we are so emotional. We are the Egyptians. We are so emotional, and we always feel the homesickness and all that stuff. And we always want to come back. Yeah. So I saw people want to not only the Premier League. Ahmed Zaki was doing amazing with Wigan Athletic, and you remember the bicycle goal against Liverpool, of course. Most of the Egyptian players scores against Liverpool. I don't know why. And at that time we had Mohamed Dan as well in Borussia Dortmund with Jurgen Klopp, and he was doing amazing. But the homesickness is killing the Egyptian people. We always want to come back to Egypt. But I think now, because of Salah, the Egyptian players' mentality has changed. And I hope we can see more and more players like Salah, because as fans, we're doing fantastic. Like, where are you going? Liverpool? Boom, 2 million followers. Where are you going? Chelsea? Boom, 4 million followers. We're doing fantastic.
You've got to open up an Arabic Twitter account, immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Yeah, that happened with Chelsea, with Liverpool, with Roma, with Fiorentina, with every team. Even with Trezeguet, the same.
Yeah, when he was.
But Salah was lucky because Salah didn't play for Al Ahly or Al Zamalek, so there is nothing like okay, he's Ahlawi, he's Zamakawi, so all the Egyptians support Salah.
Yeah.
That he was lucky. He was lucky.
Yeah, he was not affiliated to either one of those teams, right? Like
Exactly.
He from another team. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think for me the most interesting thing, with like you said about this homesickness and things like that, and players sort of struggling to adapt. That's why Mustafa Mohammad's move to Turkey is quite interesting, and even El Neni when he went
fought,
to
actually.
he like to go there. It's a cultural similarity.
Muhammad literally fought to move to Turkey because the man didn't want him. Yeah, that he fought. You can see that was the last day of the Mercato. And he had the offer from Saint Etienne, and he was fighting to go to Saint Etienne, but Zamalek didn't want to let him go. He wanted to loan him to Galatasaray. The guy wanted to go out, and he did. Good for him, and for us.
He was rumored in the summer to be joining Rangers. Actually, my Scottish team. That was a big rumor over the summer in the sort of transfer talk. But I'll be honest, I hadn't seen much of him. Last summer. But then he's had
an Egyptian fit in Scotland.
No, I didn't think he'd succeed. If you say people want to go back, I mean, he'd step one foot in Scotland and say, "I'm done."
First of all, he wouldn't understand the accent. He would come back to Egypt.
That's very cool. It'd be a cultural shock, basically. I think for him. To step in Scotland, but I hope. He would really. He's a powerful striker. Up front, he's a really good asset, and he scored, I think, on his debut. Penalty. They gave him a penalty. Hey, take it.
Yeah, that was very cool from the team and the manager actually to let him score, to let him shoot his debut. Like that was very cool of him.
Yeah, I like that he's in Turkey. I mean, it's a bit of a cultural. It's not a massive cultural shock, I think, to go to Turkey.
Exactly.
It's still got that kind of niche feel to it.
And there are a lot of Arabs in Turkey as well, so I think it will fit there for a while at least.
And the food is great too, right? I mean, that's an amazing.
It is. It is.
Awesome. No, I think one of the other things, looking sort of back at Al Ahly and the players that they've had, we wanted to sort of pick your brain and see what you felt are, you don't have to do all 11, but if you've got an 11 best players that you have from Al Ahly.
So best, not favorite, yeah?
Best. I mean, it's up to you. Best, yeah. Your combo is there, so you can tell us what you feel is a good combo for you.
Like best team, not favorite. Of course, I'll start with Assam Al Hadar because I'm fair. Ibrahim Hassan, Wael Goma, of course.
Yeah.
Said Mawad. Magdi Abdel Ghani. Of course, I'll say Abu Trika and Khatib, of course. Hussam Hassan. Ahmad Mitaib. طاهر أبو زيد, علاء ميهوب.
Okay, and that would be the best team that you say you would put out in terms of performance, right? Like,
yeah, يعني as much as so.
Okay. And are those necessarily all sort of your favorite players, or would you say that your necessarily would be the team? So who would be like your favorites?
Look, I think it's about the club, not the players. But definitely, I will put Abu Trika and Khatib than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, he has this sort of aura about him, Abu Trika, right? I mean, he's just so well loved.
You have no idea.
Our world, it's insane.
You have no idea. Like, I remember when he went to the studios and started to be a pundit. I was sitting with one of my friends at a sports bar, and the voice was muted, and Abu Trika was talking, but we can't hear anything about it. So I said, Allah, He's saying very, very, very good words. I was like, buddy, you can't even hear him. It was like that, but I trust him. It was like that much. Yeah, because you know why? Because every time he had to choose, he chose wisely. He chose the right choice, and the right choice is always Al Ahly. So he always over and over chose Al Ahly. So we always say the Ahly fans. We always say the Ahly fans never forget the good things and the bad things. So like we never forgot what Al Hadri did. We never forgot what Abu Trika did.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think we were lucky to see him play over in the UAE for a bit as well.
Banias.
He did come here and play for a little bit at Banias. I remember that. I think
but most of the Egyptians were really, yeah.
You know, why not? You know, he's a legend. It's kind of, you know, it was a source of pride, right, for him to come here and people to go watch him.
And I think he won a trophy here, a cup or something. He won a trophy.
What year was that?
No, but I was watching, definitely.
What year was he in Banias?
I wasn't here. I wasn't in UAE. I was in Egypt.
It was maybe 2014, 2015, maybe even earlier than that. I don't know.
I think earlier because he came here when the football stopped in Egypt after the revolution. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because Banias, you're right, did have a good spell in those kind of years, early kind of teens. So maybe. But
people can't remember that with Abu Trika, Mohammed Zidane was playing. But people can't remember him because Abu Trika was there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Zidane was there as well?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Okay, yeah. I mean, Mohammed Zidane, again, to me, he had an incredible career. Like you said, he was over in Germany and stuff like that. But he's like not very well, at least from what I see in the media, not very well talked about, you know, in the same leagues as Hossam Hassan or Abu Trika and these guys. Like Zidane was kind of under the radar a little bit, but he was consistent.
It was before the social media era, and it was in Germany.
Yeah.
In Egypt, nobody was watching Germany. The Bundesliga, everybody was in Premier League, maybe the La Liga. Not like now, but the Premier League was the boss in Egypt. And you can find all the people from my generation have their favorite team from the Premier League because we used to watch it like normally in the normal cable.
Yeah, the back in the days of sort of, I think it was ART used to show the games, or when we were growing.
Exactly. Before ART, it was in the Egyptian television. I used to watch the Premier. Yeah, things were easy. I used to watch the World Cup at the Egyptian TV. Can you imagine the 2002 World Cup? Yeah.
Amazing.
The good old days, baby.
Exactly. No, very cool. Wanted to sort of get into some quick fire questions for you. You can answer these as fast as you can. We'd like to see sort of your immediate reaction to these. So start off with your favorite Egyptian player ever.
Abu Trika.
Excellent. Abu Trika. Okay. Favorite ever Al Ahly match?
Al Ahly Safakis 2006, the Champions League final.
Okay, cool. Your favorite football match of all time?
Ahly Al Zamalek 6-1.
When was that?
2001.
Okay.
Ahly won against Zamalek 6-1.
Amazing. I need to get that up on YouTube later on. Brilliant. Your favorite goal of all time? Favorite goal of all time?
I can say one. I have to say two. One is Abu Trika against Safakis 2006. Second is Afsha against Zamalek this year.
Okay.
This year, that final, the derby.
Final.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. I wish I could be in your shoes, honestly. That'd be amazing.
That was amazing.
If you could go back in time and interview one player, who would it be?
Look, if it's not Saleh Salim or Abu Trika, I would like to interview the founding fathers of Al-Ahli. I would like to know more about everything, how it started, how that club started with 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people. Now like millions are following.
Yeah, fascinating story. I mean, for some guys that got together and set up a club, and then sort of now they're 60 million,
60
like you said,
million people.
Unbelievable, crazy.
Unbelievable.
This is a funny one. If you could have dinner with any football player, past or present, who would it be?
Egyptian, yeah?
No, anyone. Anyone.
Anyone, that's a tough one because I had dinner with Ronaldo and Totti, so.
Oh.
Yeah. So you've already done it.
Yeah, I did, and I'm proud of it.
Fair enough. How were they at dinner? Good dinner guests.
Look, Totti, we don't have a common language, but he's my childhood hero. Ronaldo was just amazing. The guy is humble. I was a co-host during the Globe Soccer Awards, and I can hear the earpiece like, hello, the second guest is ready. So I saw Ronaldo, the Brazilian one, and he's saying hi. I was like, am I the first guest? He was like, yes. And Ronaldo, the second guest? He was like, okay. So I was in shock. For 10 minutes on air, I didn't say a word. I was like, just didn't say a word. Then I realized I need to talk. This is Ronaldo in front of me and I have to interview him. So I asked him about the famous cut. I told him, that my mom was about to kill me because I came home with half shaved head, and she was about to kill me because of you. And he was like, to be honest, my mom was almost kill me. She was about to kill me as well when she saw that, but I gave her the World Cup. I was like, I didn't. But the most incredible person I've ever met and interviewed was Boban.
Oh wow, the Croatian.
Wow.
Yeah, the guy.
What made
the guy.
special?
Obviously, I asked him about the kick, the famous kick. I was like, do you regret it? Do you regret kicking that policeman?
Yeah.
He was like, look, I'm so sorry for what happened to him, but I couldn't see that one of my own are being beaten, so I would do it again.
Yeah,
I would do it again, and there were a lot. He told me I'm a man of the people. People said I was the number 10. Yeah, the cameras took my photo because I'm the man with the number 10 on his back. But I love how he played with the terms. Then he said they took my photo because I'm the man with the number 10 on my back. But there were a lot of strikers in that stadium. So and he was very humble, and I asked him about the happiest moment on his life, and he said the career, and he said you won't imagine that I won the World Cup with the youth team with Yugoslavia, and that was my happiest moment. It wasn't with Croatia. It was back then when it was Yugoslavia. And he was so humble and he was so understandable and he wanted to talk more. And that I love him. I love the man.
Amazing. I mean, I always say that if that Yugoslavia team had stayed together, past 1991, I think they would have won everything. Put them at World Cup '94. If Croatia could do what they did at 1998 with those players, you add a few Serbians to the mix, and you've got a team that will win everything.
Yeah. And I asked him, why did you cry when you saw Luka Modric receive the Ballon d'Or? You were crying. He told me because Luka Modric did speak in their language, in Croatian. He told me I was just super happy to hear the Croatian language said by the best player in the world. That was a dream, and I was super happy. The man was like super cool and super. I just love the man. I love the man. Really, I love the man.
Amazing. A really unexpected answer there. I would never have expected Boban's name to come up, but yeah, no, really great personality. I'm sure he's got a hell of a lot of stories which were amazing. So no, awesome. Your favorite World Cup of all time?
2006 Club World Cup.
No, National World Cup.
I would say 2002.
Japan, Korea.
Oh, okay, interesting choice.
And 2006 for sure, because I love Italy.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. There we go. Yeah.
Oh. Wait, but back to 2002. Is it because of Ronaldo and the haircut?
No, not because of the haircut. Because of the football. I think there were a lot of very good football then. The Brazil were amazing. Germany were amazing. Italy were amazing still till they steal it from them. There was a lot of good football, or maybe because I was just a kid. Maybe that was the first World Cup I can watch with. I can say I'm kind of adult. I'm aware of what's happening. Not like 1998 or 1998. Like I have flashes of it.
Yeah.
But 2002, maybe that was my first World Cup I watched, and I'm aware of what's happening. Maybe it's an emotional thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we all love our sort of first World Cup that we could For me, that would be '98. That for me was the first one that I was really sort of and even. Yeah, when I look at clips from that World Cup, it just gives me this nostalgia, this kind of really good feeling, and it's. I think that's
everything, even the song, the jerseys, the everything in that World Cup was amazing.
See, for me, I'm showing my age here, but for me it was '94, obviously because it was Greece's first ever World Cup, and I remember living in Australia, having to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and our first game against Argentina. With, of course, the famous Diego Maradona celebration with the camera. I mean, just everything. Greece is.
I wish he never did this celebration. I wish he never did this celebration.
Yeah.
I wish.
Me too.
But that celebration, it seems something wrong with him. That's why they made the test.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just everything about that. I mean, the fact that it was being hosted in the US. I remember seeing documentaries about it. Journalists walking around in like New York saying, "Hey, the soccer World Cup is the World Cup is
soccer
coming to
America." And Diana Ross played the penalty.
She missed the penalty.
I mean, just kind of all of that kind of brings back the nostalgia. Of course, Greece's kit at the time by Diodora was a classic, which, my dad, I remember him coming home and bringing it to me as the first, football kit that I owned. So just a lot of these, like you, was the kind of the first, first kind of real World Cup I paid attention to, and then look back from there. But yeah. Okay, very cool.
Speaking of kits, your favorite kit of all time?
Bordeaux, it's not about Ahly, it's overall, yeah? All of Roma kits, because I don't know what's happening with that team, but all their kits are amazing. Since 2001, 2000 till now, Roma at least have one amazing kit. At least.
For me, that was the one that changed the game. That, for me, the Roma kit with the Kappa one, 2000.
Kappa one.
The collar up here and the skin tight shirt.
Yeah, I have that one.
It's a classic.
Yeah. I think most of Italy were Kappa then. Even the national team.
Changed.
Speaking of 90. Yeah.
You had all these big baggy shirts, right? Like that was how people wore kits, and then all of a sudden Roma come out with this like skin tight athletic thing, and everyone's like, shit.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to do that. I remember that Cameroon tried to do something like that. They played with the Muslim, Cameroon tried to do it, but they told them no, you cannot do this. It's not basketball.
They needed patch on the shoulder. That's why they didn't allow it. Where are you going to put the logo of the 2002 World Cup? And they needed sleeves for that. So damn bureaucracy.
I loved that T-shirt. I loved it.
Yeah, it's very sought after. It's very rare at the moment. Like
and the 11 players were fit, and it was like that looked amazing. Yeah, that was. You
you couldn't see any other team other than Cameroon. Like, I wouldn't wear that in the Scottish Premier League, for example. Like it wouldn't.
In any league.
But no, really. Two great examples there. I mean, the Roma kits, but the Cameroon kit, that's a great shout. That's a fantastic one. Wrapping it all up, this could be anyone, but your favorite player of all time.
Of course.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Dieguito. Dieguito is my Diego Armando Maradona, then Francesco Totti. They are my favorite.
It's interesting. You wouldn't have necessarily grown up watching Maradona, right? I mean, he would have retired when you were sort of starting to get into football. So it's more about his legacy and his fame from back then, right?
Yeah, I remember the last game when he was crying. He was his retirement. I remember that clearly. I grew up in a place called Saida Zainab. Saida Zainab is a place in downtown. It's my grandma house, so I wasn't the first boy in this home. My uncle was. So I grew up seeing a photo of Maradona in front of my bed, which it was my uncle's bed before me. So I started wondering about that player. I started watching his games because my uncle was crazy about him. He was his childhood hero. So Maradona is it's not about he's a great player, of course, but he's a person. He's not a great person, but he's a person. He have his mistakes. He's like you can see through him. He's not faking anything. I just made an interview with his trainer because when I was coming back from Egypt in the plane, I watched his documentary like for the 50 times. And I remember that guy, the trainer, he said there were two people, Diego and Maradona. With Diego, I would go to the end of the earth. With Maradona, I wouldn't take a step. That sentence, I wanted to ask the guy himself about it. So I sent him a message on LinkedIn. I was hoping he can answer, and he answered, and I interviewed him. He told me that I think Maradona was faking not faking, but he created another personality to deal with all the fame and all the lights around him. But in the end of the day, the same poor guy came from Boca, from Argentina. But he tried to make himself an image, because if he didn't do this image, this character for himself, he would die. He would die because he couldn't take it. He's a very simple guy. He's a very humble guy. He found himself a god in Napoli. And I think Diego Armando Maradona gave football a lot. And I loved how the football community came together after he died. Everybody forgot about his mistakes, about his whatever he did, because he's a human. He never said I'm a god. He always said I'm a human. I'm only human after all, like they said. And you can't tell stories about Maradona non-stop. You can't tell the story about him in Napoli. How the crazy Napoli fans went to the graveyards with their banners saying you don't know what you miss. They told their dead people, you don't know what you did miss with Maradona. You can't say the story of himself with Boca Juniors when the fans wanted to like hit the Boca Juniors players, but he said don't. He was a real captain. He was a real person. He was a real human being. I love Maradona from the bottom of my heart. I think he had a very good life, and I hope he rests in peace, because the guy gave a lot to the football community, to the football. I think he changed the football forever, and he deserves to be remembered in that way. That's it. He's my favorite. He will forever be my favorite.
Amazing. Well, look, I think that's a really, really touching tribute, and a fantastic way to sort of wrap up this call that we've had with you. Really, really enjoyed all of that. The insightful talk that we've had. About everything, and just wrap it up with that sort of epic story about Maradona was just the icing on the cake. So thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. I really had fun, and I hope you had fun as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the invitation.
I'm having fun now. That's it. Khalas. Like I've got. It's not just about having the shirt. I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'm going to be. I'm going to order the French vanilla. I'm going to do the donuts, and I'm going to
the Nutella donuts. I'm going to send you the menu. Don't worry. I'm going to send you the menu.
Please, WhatsApp me the menu, and I'll make sure I do it when watching the game. And look, if they make it through to Bayern, I'm really hoping for a huge game there. So, fingers crossed they do well, and everything goes well. And thanks again so much for joining us, Sham. We really,
thank you. I really enjoyed it. I really had fun.